Wade, tell us about it. Tell us about this adventure you're on.
Oh, it's been great. Sorry if you can't understand me for the Americans.
No.
Oh, yeah.
We've had Kai Hamilton on, so you're good.
Yeah, right.
Rodeo time. Welcome to the Luke Branquinho Show. On this episode, we actually have an in-studio guest. When I say studio, I mean my office/trophy room. Wade Forster, thanks for joining me. Huge star in Australia, country music, kind of up and rising. But not only that, we talk about country music star, but he's also a rodeo cowboy, professional rodeo cowboy down there. Wade, tell us about it. Tell us about this adventure you're on.
Oh, it's been great. Sorry if you can't understand me for the Americans.
No.
Oh, yeah.
We've had Kai Hamilton on, so you're good.
Yeah, right. I'm a rodeo cowboy in Australia, which is pretty cool thing to be doing in Australia. Not a lot of people can do that a lot, especially with work and that, because over there you can't make a living on it
right,
like Americans can. So I'm singing on the side, I would say, funding my rodeo trips. Yeah.
Right, that's the job that's funding your rodeo.
Yeah, but at the moment it's sort of taken precedence over the rodeo. But yeah, I'm a team roper and a bit of a steer wrestler. Been trying to get better, so meeting you is pretty damn cool. But yeah, I won the 44th Toyota Star Maker, which is what made Keith Urban who Keith Urban is. It's made a lot of big Australian names, and I just can't wait to use this title to what I've got coming for me this year. Like, I played my first show in Texas last night. It was for free. I didn't get paid, but about 300, 400 people rocked up at the stockyards.
Right.
Flooded the whole street.
That's great. But you talk about taking advantage of it. You won this award. But not only that, when you were down rodeoing this last year, I got a call from Cody Johnson. He said, "Hey, man, I'm with a guy. He's an awesome singer, but he's a steer wrestler, and I need to haze for him." But just getting introduced and getting to meet Cody, and hell, you got to play on a stage with 40,000 people?
I think it was 25.
We just double everything on the Branquinho Show. But
but yeah, I went from playing a golf club the week before at Mount Isa Rodeo for 50 cowboys, and I think none of them were listening anyway. So I went from that to Rod Laver Arena in Melbourne playing for 25,000 or something, and I was so excited. And everyone was like, "Were you nervous?" I was like, "Hell no!" Like, the crowds out west are more ruthless than the ones in the cities.
Right.
Like, I've had old cowboys, friends of dad's, just yell at me, "Why don't you play Creedence Clearwater Revival?" You know. So I was used to anything that was coming my way. When Cody called you too, I think it's funny. He's like, "Yeah, I did a really good job on that haze," and I was like, he left me for dead.
Yeah.
In the photos, it looks really great, and I got to give it to Cody because I did throw him in the deep end because I wanted him to haze for me, for the aesthetic. But he did leave me for dead, But
he's always good in pictures.
Oh yeah. No, you don't miss out on that.
But what a great experience! And did you know Cody going into that before coming in?
I knew. I was a fan of Cody's for years. I think the first ever song I learnt to play was "Dear Rodeo." So it was pretty cool, come around experience. And I've been so grateful to him and his band for how they've treated me and my family, because we even got to hang out with them in Nashville when they were there. They were very accommodating to us, and this just feels like a family overseas to me,
Right.
So if I did want to move over here, I've got somewhere to go or somewhere to start, at least.
Yeah. Well, and that's huge, especially in your industry. Just from the few people I know in it, Cody, Chancey Williams, guys like that, it's a tough road to hoe. And if you can get in with the right people, it just makes it that much easier to get where you need to go.
Yeah, exactly. You need to have your connections per se. If you're just like I was last year, I didn't really have any connections. I was just calling up venues saying, "Hey, can I play Friday night?" And they're like, "Yeah, we can pay you $500." And I was like, "Too easy. It cost me $750 to get there." So I'll play there. But like, now that I've got all these connections, I'm taking full advantage of it, and I don't want to let anyone down. So when they say a town that I've never heard of before, I write it down. And I'm like, I'm going to see if there's venues to play there.
Right.
Because I don't want to be that guy that's just like, "No, I'm only playing the major cities."
Well, to get your music out there,
Yeah.
you kind of got to start
Exactly.
on the ground floor, right?
Yeah. But in Australia, I'm the 5th most listened to monthly all time.
That's awesome.
And I'm 25. A lot of them fellas that I'm up in the list with are like,
Older.
50s, 60s.
Oh, wow.
They've been around for years and years. I've only been in it for 6.
Do you, so 6 years into it, and I was reading, so you left home to pursue a refrigeration career, right?
Yeah.
You bought a guitar on Facebook for $80.
50.
Or 50 bucks. $50. And just started picking and playing.
Yeah, I taught myself on YouTube. Literally searched up how to play Dear Rodeo Cody Johnson.
That was the first one you learned?
That was the very first one. And then after that, I went, because nobody in Australia sort of knew of Cody then.
Right.
It was weird. Like some did, some didn't. And I was a young, 18, 19-year-old. I was a little cowboy. I was trying to pick up chicks, So I ended up learning wagon wheel.
Oh, yeah.
By, Darius Rucker and them. I know it's not by Darius Rucker, but that's who it was popular by. And did that. And that's what, won me over with the ladies.
Man, well, the guitar and a guy who could sing, I've seen it happen in real life. It works. It dang sure works. Way better than just being a smooth talker.
Yeah, no, definitely. They love a voice. They don't love a dude, but they can work their way around a sentence,
Well, here on the Luke Branquinho Show, we do a segment called Rodeo Trivia. In the barrel racing, when it knocks over a single barrel, what is the penalty? Started picking and then started picking up little gigs. But like you said, it was at the rodeos, probably just picking and trying to hit up chicks. And then next thing you know,
here I am.
Here you are.
It was a rodeo that I got told I could sing because I didn't know I could sing. I was sort of, we were drinking at this rodeo. I didn't win any money.
What was it, 4X Gold?
No. Oh.
That's a popular Australian.
Yeah, it is a very good beer. I wish 4X would sponsor me. The amount of money I pay them every year.
Right.
But I think we were just drinking rum and coke and sitting back at the trails. I used to hang around all the rough stock riders because I was like one of the younger fellas doing team roping and that in Australia. So I'd go and hang out with the bronc riders and that, and then we were sitting around waiting for the the main to happen, and pulled out the guitar and started singing. And I always give him a shout out. Jack Campbell, one of my bronc riding mates, he was like, "You can sing a bit," and I was like, "Really?" And he's like, "Yeah, no bullshit." And I'm like, all right, I'm going to do this then.
Well, to have the support of your rodeo community, because I've gotten to go over there. I've got to spend a lot of time over there with Shane Kinney and Leanne. And we've had a lot of Australians come over to our place. Casey Kinney, I'm going to forget a lot of them, but Errol Frayne.
Errol. Yeah.
Do you know Errol?
I know all of them, but yeah. Errol, I grew up a bit with Errol.
Did you?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, he
was always at mum and dad.
Yeah. Well, we're going to have to get a picture and send it to him. But, man, we've got to spend a lot of time with some great Australians. And when you talk about guys that want to come over here because there's an opportunity and take advantage of it, that's what those guys were.
Yeah.
They got here, they worked their ass off because they knew, hey, this is the dream that I've dreamt.
Yeah. This is what I think nearly every cowboy in Australia has the same dream, regardless of it being rodeo or their other job, is to get it.
Yeah.
Kai Hamilton's a great example. Travis Munro.
Yep.
Darcy Kirsch. The list goes on,
Yeah, those cats actually.
Shane and Leanne taught me to bulldog. So, Shane was telling me, yeah, I've got Luke's number. And I'm like, you got Luke's number? And then a year later, you started texting me. And I was like, oh, that's so cool. Because I remember as a kid, I would wait for the NFR tapes because it would come like a month after the NFR. And people that would be over there watching, oh, yeah, this is what happened. No. No.
Boy, every time I do somebody young on the show, they make me feel really old. Thanks, though. But no, I mean, to me, that's cool just to be able to, have that you looked up to somebody like me and wanted to, I guess, emulate the way I bulldogged and rodeoed for that matter. But I think it's cool that you're not only wanting to do rodeo, the way you're pursuing your music career.
Yeah.
Did you get to play? I know you were in Nashville at CMA Fest. Did you get to play it at all there, or was it just kind of there?
I got to play. I was a part of an Australia showcase. A few big wigs come down and watched us, and got to play the spotlight stage in front of a fairly decent crowd. And I went and watched Cody on the side of the stage, but I didn't get to play like big numbers. But what I got to play for as an Aussie was great,
right?
Because if we play festivals at home, if you don't know what's coming, you're not always going to sell them out.
Right.
So you could have 20 people rock up, or you could have 2,000.
Right.
So, there was no stress. And when we got over here, like, people, I'm coming to see you at Nashville. In Australia, they don't do that. They're just like, you remember me? And I'm like, no. And they're like, I played football with you. And I was like, why didn't you tell me you were coming? Like,
yeah, right.
Yeah. Would have made my life a bit less stressful,
Well, it's crazy how the it doesn't, I guess, translate how it is over there, because I mean, and not that music's not as big, but over here it seems like all the talent wants to come up here to get big and then go back home. I mean, is that kind of how it is?
Yeah, to an extent. I think the main reason I want to come over here, though, is because I fit in with the Texas country sound, and I didn't try to force that. I think I grew up listening to every Brooks and Dunn CD and all Texas country sort of stuff. So I think that singing accent laid naturally on me. I didn't know I sung with one until someone on TikTok said, "Oh, he's from Montana." I was like, "Oh no, I'm not." I've never even been to Montana, and he's like, "Yeah, he's from Montana," and I was like,
"It's beautiful up there, I heard."
Yeah, it must be. I hope it is.
Well, but listening to you sing and going through your songs, is Rodeo Romeo, was that one of your first?
No, Rodeo Romeo, it's one of my favorite songs I've wrote. It's actually not about me. It's about a relationship I watch in rodeo. This girl, Joby, she's a breakaway roper, and her boyfriend Tom's a bareback rider. Tom lives down south near Melbourne and Sydney and that, and she lived up in Townsville, like two ends of the country.
Right.
And they made it work every time. It was just like the distance couldn't bother them. They'd always go to rodeo. It was like they were together every day.
Wow.
And I was like, that's just beautiful. That's going to make a really good song. So started writing that song. And I had a girlfriend at the time. And when I broke up with her, everyone's like, oh, you can't sing that song now. I was like, it wasn't about her.
And I could if I wanted to.
Yeah, I could. But yeah, it's not.
So a lot, like all your songs, do you write? Yeah.
I didn't know until this year that you could do co-writes. Till last year, I wrote that whole album on my own.
Oh,
and then they were like, "Oh, who helped you with that?" And I was like, Forex.
Yeah,
the
exactly. Big. Another plug for a sponsorship.
Yeah, come on, Forex. But yeah, no, like I didn't know anything about that. So all them songs are just stories of my younger years rodeoing, and like I went from a crew of 8 people in my little rodeo crew that travelled around to about 2 of us still alive, and I've watched floods, fires, droughts, rip Dad's land apart, and I've just seen the world collapse with COVID and everything. And that was the knife in the back. COVID, I lost 30 friends.
Oh, wow.
Anyway, you could think of suicides, COVID itself, car crash, cancer, you name it. One of them fell asleep. One of my best friends ever, Walter Baker, was a rodeo announcer in Australia and was pretty famous. Fell asleep and never woke up.
Oh, man.
And it just that was a knife in my back, and started writing all them songs, which is the beginning.
Right.
And went down and spent I won a big heap of money at a jackpot. I think I was first and second at this jackpot. And I was healing for Dad. And I just took all the money and I said, I'm going to record these songs. I didn't know anything about the music industry besides I can play those songs on my guitar. And the fella that helped me record it, I still go and record with him today. And they're always like, you can go record with this person, that person, he's recorded for that, but I don't care. I want to go record with I'm loyal, so I'm going to record with him because he's just as good, if not better, so I'm going there. But he broke it all down for me, and this is how you actually do it, you can't just do that. I was like, all right.
Kind of give you a roadmap on the direction you need to go.
Exactly.
So now co-writing, I don't know anything about it. How does that work? I mean, you kind of come up with ideas and bring some people in and then just mesh them together?
Pretty much. Either that or you just literally sit down at a table, write out what we're going to write about. And it is tough. It's sort of like pick and draw roping and stuff like that. You don't know what you're going to get. So, like, I tend to write with people I know or know of, So I write with my friends in Australia that I know are going to give me something back.
Right.
That they're not just trying to take off me because I've got high listeners in Texas.
Right.
Because they want their name to say, hey, I've got a song trending in Texas right now. So, they're going to give me something back. Like it's the bush
give and take.
That's the cowboy coming at me. You're going to borrow something off me. I'm going to give you something back. You know, sort of. That's just how I was raised. So I want to anything rodeo I've taken into music, like my mindset, everything. Like,
well, and I think you see that. We keep talking about Cody. He's the same exact way, and that's what helped him become so successful. And I think you got that roadmap from there and from him, and you put it together, and obviously you're already having some success, but it'll just take you even higher.
And like I said, the rodeo thing, I'm not going to stop that. I do want to do a PRCA rodeo, like something bad, but I know if I've got to wait 5-10 years, I'll wait. I'll put knee braces on and a kidney band if I've got to.
There you go.
I'll do it.
Well, so you're talking about maybe moving to Texas?
Yes, sir. Yeah. I just got visas are a very tricky thing,
right?
Especially for us to come over here. It might be easy. I don't know what it is for you to come over to home, but for us, we've got to prove work. We've got to prove that we got somewhere to stay.
Right.
All that stuff. So that's all sort of in the works for me this year because it's hard to market me in Australia.
Right.
I'm the only Rodeo Cowboy that's singing. So they're just like, Cody was just here. We don't need to see you. And it's not like a bad thing. But
right.
I'm sort of trying my hardest to push all my music and it's just not what they're wanting right now.
Mm-hmm, right.
Which is, fair. They've got their own choice to make, and that's nothing I can do about that.
Right.
But America's been, begging for me since I released the beginning, which was about 2 or 3 years ago.
That's good.
So I played that show in Texas last night. The first song I played, I watched a girl in the front row wearing a Wade Forster shirt that I made online.
Oh,
and
wow.
I only sold 10 of them ever.
And she was one of them.
She was one of them, and she
That's
was
pretty
crying. Cool. And I was like, Jesus.
That is cool.
I don't get that home,
But I mean, that has to feel good. I mean, when you look down there and you said you sold 10 of them and then boom, she has one.
Yeah. I forgot I even sold them until I sent it. I was like, wow.
So getting the visa, which I've had to help, obviously, Errol, when he came over and got his, prove, okay, he's going to live here. They called me and sent me letters and all that stuff. And that's kind of where where you're at now with it.
Yeah. I'm getting help from Kojo and, a few people in Nashville that are going to help me out. A few people in Texas, but.
And I imagine it's different too, because from a sports visa to an entertainment visa, I mean, there's got to be different types that the government looks at and like, okay, well, this benefits our country, this doesn't, so we'll push it out.
Exactly. And I've got the sporting visa at the moment,
right?
Because I was like, I'll just get that and go
rodeo.
But then I won this award, and I was like, it's kind of too good to let go, Right. I'll go one more year in Australia. Because that was my backup plan. I found out I was in this award well after Cody Johnson. So I must have entered for it, and sort of forgot about it because of everything that was going on. And
right.
When I was in the top 10, I was like, well, I'm still going to get my visa, so I'll pack light. If I don't win, I'm on the plane the next day to Dallas. And I won. So I was like, all right, I got to go buy some clothes. I don't have any clothes down here at this festival, so I had to go buy some clothes. And I was busy from then on. Like, I've been on the road for 2.5 months, just about, and I hadn't seen mum and dad until I come to the airport
and met them to fly over
here. Yeah.
Wow.
Haven't seen my sister since March.
Huh.
Really? Yeah.
Yeah, it's a crazy lifestyle.
Yeah.
Right.
And like, I do love it. Like, I get to see some pretty cool things, but I am missing rodeo on a bit, but you can always rodeo,
That's 100%.
It's not like rodeo's going to get, in music, it's popularity thing.
Yep.
I've got to run with it while I've got it, where rodeo, I can just enter up.
Yeah, you got to ride that wave.
Yeah.
And that's what I tell my boys playing sports. If you guys want to pursue football, baseball, this is the time to do it. Rodeo will always be there. I mean, there's guys that were in their 40s that made the NFR the first time. So it's not like, rodeo's going anywhere. So take advantage of, the wave you're on, ride it. And you'll always have guys that are going to help you out, when it comes back to rodeo. And Bear Pasco, I don't know if you've heard of Bear Pasco.
Yes, I have watched Bear Pasco. He does excite me a bit because I love the NFL. I'm still getting used to the rules, but I was a Tennessee Titans fan, but they didn't re-sign Derrick Henry, so
Yeah.
I'm pursuing other options.
Well, getting used to the football rules. I went down to Townsville when actually one of the first rodeos that Quentin put on down there in 2016. Yeah. And went down there with Brendan Clark and a few others. And I got to go to, it was a state of origin, but it was the lower, I don't know how it works.
Yeah.
But there were 3 games, juniors, and then the next group, and then the next group. And I tried to figure these rules out. And somebody started talking to me, telling me a rule. Well, they would lose interest in talking to me because I'm dumb, don't know what the hell I'm talking about. And then they'd pass somebody else to me. So I have learned rugby rules from like 7 different people, and every one of them were intoxicated.
Yeah.
So
I think that's how I learned, to be honest. But yeah, I played that rugby for a fair while. I didn't rodeo through high school. I wanted to be a rugby player.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. And I went to England playing it.
Oh, nice.
All over there and played it a fair bit. And then, yeah, just wasn't as big as the boys in Townsville. A lot of big boys in Townsville. Like one of Australia's best players was playing in Townsville at the time, Kalen Ponga. Like, it means nothing in America, but to us, everyone's like, oh, shit, Wade played against Kalen Ponga.
Oh, really?
Like, yeah. And he was scary because he just run at you and he's gone. And you're like, I didn't even see him move. Like,
just that fast.
Yeah.
By you.
He'd jump off his left foot 5 meters that way.
Wow.
And he's gone.
Well, it was neat watching that. The other neat thing was everybody got so tanked up, and Quentin had a bus, like an actual bus.
Yeah.
They were all tanked up, and I hadn't been drinking, so I got to drive everybody in a bus
on the
wrong side of the road, on the wrong side of the car, and we stopped at the clubhouses after the game because Quentin's son Clancy was playing.
Oh yeah, Clancy. Yeah.
So we got to go to the clubhouse there, and I was so relieved when I pulled back in his driveway and like, oh my gosh, I didn't kill anybody.
You'd be surprised at worse drivers than yous out there. We've got Asians in Australia. They've given me the scares a few times in like Townsville and that, and they'll just be like, there's this one big highway and there's no island in the middle of it, and I've just seen one just go over. I just pulled on the brakes and watched it go right in front of me.
Oh wow!
She just kept sailing. I was like,
Well, I will say Townsville, out of all the places I've been, Mackay. Yeah, got to say that right, by the way. Townsville, Mackay are 2 of the prettiest places that I think I've ever been to.
Yeah.
Now, no offense, Shane. Emerald, on the other hand, not quite as.
That's
nice.
A cowboy town.
That is a cowboy town.
Yeah, that's like Stephenville in Australia.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. So, funny story. My wife and I, first year we go down there was in 2000. What year did I not get the flag? 2009. Shane had us come down and I did a clinic, and my wife came with me, and did the clinic. I had Brad McGilchrist. I don't know if you know Brad. He's from where do they have the music festival down there?
Tamworth.
He's from Tamworth.
Yeah.
And anyway, Brad went down there and helped me with the clinic, but it was about 10 o'clock and it was hot. So December, obviously your summertime down there, it was miserable hot. And okay, stop everybody, water break. And I go get a water with cordial.
Yeah.
Which is just like a syrup, kind of like a Gatorade type deal.
It's nearly closer to Kool-Aid, but not as sugary. Yeah.
But it was delicious. Well, I look at all these other Australians, they're popping rum and Cokes. And I mean, like it's 10 o'clock in the morning, they're beer or whatever, smoking cigarettes. I'm like, wow, I meant hydrate, not. Yeah. Anyway, but that's just kind of.
That's sort of the norm. Us Australians don't have a lot of fast food, so we've got to keep our weight on another way. So it's beer bellies and stuff like that. But I don't know. It's just that heat can be so overwhelming in Australia because like it's summertime here in Texas, but it's been pretty pleasant for me.
Right.
And everyone's like, oh, I don't know how he's handling it. I'm like, this is not that bad.
No, exactly.
You know, in Australia, the world doesn't move when it's hot. It's just still, and you can feel the skin just starting to rip off your face. And water doesn't cut it quite half the time, so it's just
something. Whatever else can do it.
Beer or a Coke, something that keeps that sugar in there. But a beer doesn't have much sugar.
Yeah.
But,
you know how to make do.
Yeah.
Well, my wife and I, after the clinic maybe for lunch or something, we cruised around Emerald, and there was a big store, and it had 4X plastered all over it. This is a true story. I look at her and I go, wow, their porn is way stronger than ours. They got an extra X on it. I had no idea. I thought it was like
porn,
XX, you know.
Yeah.
It was just a beer, and they all made fun of me and laughed at me. And anyway, and then the other thing we did is we were pulling back out of Shane's, and somebody let me borrow a truck to go back to the hotel. And all of a sudden, I pull out of Shane's, I get going, and all flashing lights.
Oh, yeah.
Did you hear that story today?
I think I have. I think Shane's told me this.
Yeah,
but...
and I think it was Shane Eicher of all people.
Oh, yes. No, I have heard this. He's got the siren box.
Yeah, oh, yeah. So
I have heard this.
Lindsay looks at me like, what the hell did you do? You're going to get us thrown in jail in a foreign country. And anyway, yeah, they pulled up there and just real jerks. But pranksters.
Yeah.
Pranksters.
Oh, they only told me that like at Easter this year.
Yeah,
they only told me that. I was laughing.
They still laugh about it.
Yeah.
But one of the coolest things I did get, so Mark Price.
Pricey,
yeah. Pricey. Blackwell, I think, Blackwater, somewhere up there, I think where it's from. He had a set of stirrups, which I'm going to have to get a picture and take it and have him put it on the show. But it was a pair of stirrups with like a trucker gal, you know, the trucker lady on the back. He had a pair of stirrups made with rawhide and inlaid in leather, and he ended up making me a set. So it was pretty cool. But man, one thing I will say about it is Australians are, other than Kai Hamilton, are double tough. Like at that clinic, there was 60-year-olds bulldogging, and I mean wrecking out and just getting up and dusting themselves off.
It's still like that now. There's a fella that steer wrestles at Mount Isa down the laneway every year, and when you see him off a horse, you think, you know, it's probably time. You know, probably time to hang it up.
Still going.
He runs down that laneway every year, and I'm just get off properly. Don't eat it because I don't have to go there and pick you up. You know, but he hits the ground or gets a hold of him, and you know he doesn't care. He gets up and walks out and comes has a beer with us, and I'm talking. He's like 70 something.
Wow.
And he's still bulldogging down the laneway.
That's Shane Kinney, right? 70 years.
Nah. Shane's 40.
Yeah, if you ask him, but he walks like he's 100.
Yeah, I just want a good steer next weekend, so Shane's 40.
Oh, yeah, you got one. Shane, give him a good one.
Come on, Shane.
Come on.
The one he gave me at Easter, Casey had it the day before and won on it. But Casey's like, it's strong. And I was like, hey, I'm not that weak. Like, I'll get it. And I've grabbed it and I've had it shaped up, and it was just coming right to my lap. Hooked him, and he just sort of stood tough. And as I've got him down, he's got his horn at the bottom of my guts. But I had Pearl Snap on one of my brand new sponsor shirts. I took the plastic off it that morning, tore it from top to bottom, and not one of them Pearl Snaps broke.
Never busted?
No. And I walked out of the arena. You can't see without the shirt on. I'm a hairy dude. So like, I'm walking out, and the girls, there's like a little grandstand there at that Emerald Arena. They're all sitting there, they're all giggling at me. And I'm walking out like an old lady with a bathrobe, you know.
Tucking your hair back in?
Yeah, having to push it back in the cracks. You know?
Oh, man. Yeah, that's those Longhorns, they come around fast, and they'll get a horn by you and gut you.
And he had a nice, they were just perfectly straight. Like they didn't have a cow tip or nothing that grabbed me. I just must have put it right into my pocket there, and he just got me.
So, rodeo family.
Yeah.
Dad, mom, sister.
So everyone in Australia knows that my sister's better than me.
Oh, really?
Yeah, she's won a few Australian titles.
Nice.
And that. She's breakaway roper and a team roper. She doesn't like barrel racing much, but every now and then she'll crack it out.
Get some all-around points.
Yeah. So Mum was a barrel racer and a breakaway roper. She's come heeling now, which is good for me because I'm the only healer at home. So me and Mum take turns every now and then. Dad's a team roper now. He used to calf rope, bulldog, ride broncs. He never rode a bull. He said that's the only thing he won. We've got an Australia bullock riding, so it's not a bull like a bullock. And then if you won this bullock ride, you got a bull in the open. And Dad said, "Turn it out."
He said, "I ain't doing it."
He said, "No, thanks."
Smart man. Smart man.
But yeah, I grew up in a rodeo family, you know, and like. I guess that's a little bit of humility in me saying that my sister's better than me because she is, you know.
Does she want to come over and compete over here?
Oh, yeah. I think she's waiting for me to sort it out, though.
Oh, yeah.
So she can just come and, there's my brother. I'll just go.
Right. You're paving the way for her because she's going to have, you know.
Yeah. No, I'll do it for her.
I know when I met your mom, she's like, oh, my gosh, my daughter's so happy when your wife met your mom met my wife, which is cool. I mean, just to – so my wife, when I was rodeoing, she was always kind of behind me. She was never out in the forefront. Now that I'm retired, she has her show and doing that. So to be able to hear that, it makes me feel good. Like she's coming kind of out and people are recognizing her, because obviously I wouldn't have what I have if it wasn't for her. So
exactly.
I'm happy to hear that your sister loves her. So.
Yeah. Oh, I'm really obsessed.
Well, when she gets over here, we'll have to get them together
definitely.
for sure.
Well, Holly's favorite thing to do is when I'm at home and I'm on the steer saver, she drives the steer saver for me, and then she's like, all right, let me have one go. And she'll be wearing tennis shoes or something, and the minute she grabs a hold of the ground, just pops her out. And she's like, oh, she just starts muscling it back, and it just keeps popping her out. And you can just laugh for the rest of the day.
But the grit, she just got the grit.
Yeah, because she grew up with me and working with me and Dad. So I think she was always, competitive with me.
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm the brother, but I was a tough worker as a kid. So me and Holly would go to war. Right. Who could work tougher? So when she seen me doing that, I think that's just kicked in. I've got to be able to do that. Otherwise, he's got something over me.
Well, and I guess for me, it was the same, just being the youngest of three boys, same thing. It was always a competition. I always wanted to be better, knew I could be better. And, which I think drove us to what we are as far as being successful today. Music wise, and we're going to go back to it. Songs you got out. I had a list of them, but my writing's so bad I can't read it. But, listening to your music, I love the sound. I love like you said, when you get here to Texas, that stuff's going to explode. Anything new coming out you got going?
Yeah, I've been recording, I think about a week before I come over here. So, got about 3 songs. One of them's got your name in it, funnily enough. You finally get a name drop. I did Ty Murray in the last album, and now you get your name drop. Nice. I'll show you off air, but yeah. I think, what was it called? Honky Tonk Bulldogging, man.
Nice.
About partying and bulldogging, because I feel like that's a bit of what I do at the moment. I ain't as competitive as them other fellas because I'm not going to all the rodeos all year, so I'm pretty much just drinking and bulldogging.
Right. Just drinking, bulldogging. Yeah, nothing wrong with living that way.
Exactly. But, I was writing this song, and I think it was when I was trying to see if you wanted to rope with me at the Kojo.
Oh, yeah.
And I was like, I should just put his name in this song for a laugh, I did Ty Murray last time. I can give Ty Murray a break. This Luke's turn.
There you go. Appreciate it. Well, speaking of that, we're going to go back to music, but the roping, that is October.
I think 12th.
Yeah, I'm going to have to look it up. Yeah, I believe so.
But I got a pretty cool partner, and everyone should be scared at the Kojo because I'm roping with the Luke Branquinho.
Present.
Yeah.
So I'm heading, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Because I talked to Jake, which, Jake.
Yeah, Jake.
He lives 20 minutes from here.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. So I don't know how to interrupt, but I might try to heal one for him too. So.
Yeah. I think I've got you, and I think I've got Jake in the 10s, because when I come over here, I'm a 3. I'm a 5 in Australia, but I think that bumps me down to a 3 over here.
I got you.
But, so yeah, I'm going to interrupt a few times. Jake's going to help me find some runs. Kojo's going to help me find some runs. But I'd be very scared if I was ended up because me and Branquinho are in it.
And just so everybody knows, I haven't roped a steer in probably 10 years, 5 years. So which means I'm ready to win.
Yeah.
It's
due to happen.
Exactly. Yeah. But that, his deal's blown up. He has his golf. Everything he touches has been so successful. And just like this roping's going to be.
It's all for a good cause, that's a big issue down here. I've noticed. Like I haven't been right in the news down here, but I've got TikTok and see that stuff, and that cause needs addressing, like the human trafficking thing. So I feel like someone with Kojo's fan base, they'll definitely get behind it, and so will the sponsors and everything. So yeah, I can't wait to come and help any way I can.
Yeah.
So.
Well, and like you said, it's for a great cause, and put his name behind it and get your name behind it. And he's going to have so many people supporting it. It's just going to take off. And
exactly.
It's going to support something that is huge, and it's an issue. It's a problem.
Yeah.
So kudos to Cody again for doing something.
Good on you, Kojo.
Yeah. He's really called me like 17 times wanting to come on the show. And I'm just, man, I ain't got time for you right now. So.
Yeah. Oh, I beat Kojo to the show?
You did, yeah.
He's going to beat me for a lot of awards in my life, but I've got him on this one.
Yeah, exactly. You got him on this one.
Like as musicians do, we swapped music together, and I was listening to some of his music, and I'm just like, what am I doing, man? I'm doing the best I can, and then I listen to this, I'm like, Like, what have I got?
Well, yeah, but
He's-
Trent writes all of his stuff. You know?
Yeah, but Kojo has a huge influence on that.
Oh yeah,
yeah. So
Oh, yeah.
I think I need to. When I come over here, I would be Kojo's assistant and would just. I'm not trying to steal Noe's job. I've met Noe. I'm not trying to steal his job, but I just want to learn the finer points. You know, Kojo can still get his guitars off Noe. I'll clean the barn. I'll do whatever, you know.
Yeah. Next time you talk to him, ask him about Guy Ferry and the
cook.
Cook, yeah.
Like Flavortown.
Yeah. Ask him about him and me and we were at where were we at Stagecoach. Anyway, just ask Cody about it. It was a fun night. Lindsay and I really enjoyed it. Cody enjoyed it, but Noe and we thought we were going to have to throw down for a little while.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. So just ask him; he'll tell you the story. But anyhow, man, Wade, I appreciate you coming on. Tell all the folks where they could hear you, where they could find you, and man, we're just going to help blow you up.
Thank you. Thanks for having me on here first. I know busy time around summertime for Cowboys and that. You can find my music on anything. I'm on Spotify, iTunes, YouTube. All you got to do is search my name up, Wade Forster, Forster, not Foster, not Forrester. Forster, Forster. But yeah, I've got new music coming out all through this year. I haven't got any more shows in America in 2024, unfortunately. But 2025 is looking bright if I can get all my legalities up to point with my visa and stuff. But if you're in Australia and you listen to this podcast, come down and see me. I'll be touring with Tyler Hubbard this year. I'll be doing my own tour at the end of this year. All you got to do is go to my website, www.wadeforster.com. You can't miss me. I'll be in every city this year.
And check him out at the rodeos, the one you are able to get to.
That's also on the website, the rodeos.
Oh, you got the rodeo schedule too?
I got the rodeo schedule, yeah. I feel as cool as Branquinho doing that, you know. Yeah, I've only got a few, but yeah, I've got my schedule up and the ones I can do. And there's a few ones that are a bit, you know, cursed for me. I don't win any money at, but I'm going to change it this year because I got a new shirt now. So,
there you go.
Yeah.
Well, there's been my whole career, like the first 10 years, there were rodeos that I didn't win anything at. And then whatever reason, something snapped and they couldn't stop me from winning. So
that's me at Cloncurry. Every year I couldn't even get a time.
Is that's not down Laney? No, I'm thinking Warwick.
Yeah, Warwick. Yeah. Warwick isn't anymore either.
Oh, it's not?
No.
But it used to be down Laney. Yeah.
They've changed it all. But my cursed ground was Cloncurry because, you know, it was the biggest paying team roping in Australia. It goes back and forth with Nebo. And I couldn't even get a time. In the calf roping, in the team roping,
really?
in the bulldog, it didn't matter. I couldn't get a time. And then this year I finally got a time and it was in the steer wrestle. I broke out and did everything and laid on my ass.
But you got a time.
I got a time and I got up and I clapped at everything. I was just happy I got a time there. But yeah, I'm coming back for blood, Cloncurry. I want some money.
There you go. You mentioned Nebo. That was the one rodeo I did actually get to compete at.
That is a great rodeo.
Jared puts that one on, right?
Yeah.
Woggy puts it on. I seen him at the at the NFR. Maybe I seen him there. I can't remember. Sorry if I did see you, Jared. It's all a blur.
Yeah.
That place. But man, again, Wade, thanks for coming on.
Thank you, man.
Looking forward to obviously roping in October.
Yep.
And then looking forward to watching your success on the stage and in the arena.
I appreciate that, Luke. Thanks for having me on.
You bet, buddy. Thank you.
See you, sir.
Yeah. Well, here on the Luke Branquinho Show, we do a segment called Rodeo Trivia. In the barrel racing, when a knocks over a single barrel, what is the penalty? That is a 5-second penalty that will be assessed to her final time. Hey, you want to see more in-depth details on the Luke Branquinho Show? Make sure you like and subscribe.